What it is, y'all, it is your old boy Pilk, and I'm coming back at you today with more 7th Zone. Now, I think we've talked about 7th Zone basically to death. We talk about this every week, and I think at this point we know what it takes to beat it. So, sometimes when things like Light Zone come up, I like to challenge myself. Now, I think the most recent Dark unit we've actually received is Dark Ottarl, the Rage Ottarl. And I know he's an AoE, he's not really well fit for this event, but he's an absolute unit, and I want to see if we can clear it with him. Now, as you can see, I've already done an A clear with him, but I want to see if we can actually manage an S clear. So I've basically built a team that is more or less kind of like the best thing you can do with him. The whole point here is to just buff dark damage, drop dark resistance, and buff and drop his AoE damage and AoE the foe's AoE resistance, just so we can try to get maybe as close to a mill as possible out per SA. Now I know it's possible, but it's gonna be really tough with this opponent. So we're gonna do our absolute best here to try to get the maximum amount out of this enemy. So turn 2, we're gonna go ahead and do skill 2. Turn 1, we did our basic debuffs and buff stack. We're going to actually do Sheikah this turn. We're going to go ahead and do Bone Crush. We're basically going to spam Bone Crush with the exception of when we do SAs. And we're going to do a lot of SAs because I've set this up to do a crazy amount of SAs. On this turn, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do Snow Silver. Can do a little bit MP restoration. It's going to be nice. I know Goblin Slayer is here, but he's only going to drop physical and dark resistance. That's his only point, and then he's leaving. Same with Elmina. She came in turn 1, and she's just there to buff, or technically debuff, the AoE damage, so we just do as much damage as humanly possible. So it's a little bit of a different tactic than what you would normally partake on something like this, and it is a bit of a weird one. Now, I bring Line in last, and the reason I do that is because while Line is a bug killer, she's not going to do an insane amount of damage. Ottarl is going to do all of the heavy lifting. So we're going to go ahead and increase the SA gauge. If you notice, I have Finn on the front and I have Casino Seer on the back. It means everyone's getting 33% on the adventurer side. Everybody but Line is getting 33% on the assist side. She's going to get 100% on the assist side. So we're going to have tons of special attacks. There will be times where we're just spamming special attacks, and it's going to be amazing. So on this turn, I'm going to keep doing Snow Silver, Bone Crush. I'm going to go back to Yosuga. We're basically going to, as you can kind of guesstimate, spam Yosuga, spam Bone Crush, Snow Silver, except for when we need to make sure buffs go away. In fact, I'm going to have to do this on this turn, make sure all those go away, and SA gauge charge with Line. Pretty straightforward stuff. Now, we have a single SA. I'm going to wait until we have a double. I think that's going to be our best bet, because remember, Ottarl's going to do extra damage when you do a double attack with him, and Ottarl's the only one we really care to buff with Haruhime, so if we get like a turn 5 or turn 6 double SA, that'd be way better in the long run. So, Yosuga, Bone Crush, I'm going to go ahead and do Snow Silver again on this one, because I think it's going to be turn 6 we do a double. And I just want to make sure that before we do that, that we use Dancing Snow to get rid of the debuffs. And I'm just basically going to do base attacks with Line going forward. That's just going to ensure she does as little damage as possible. So there, she hit for 5,000. Whoop-de-doo. There we go. So turn 5 is not a double SA. Turn 6 will be the double SA. So I'm going to go and do Dancing Snow. Keep everything else pretty much where we have it. And bada bing, bada boom. Nice. Alright. Now, on this turn, double SA. And pay close attention to how much damage Ottarl is doing here. Remembering that he's an AoE unit, not a single target unit. He's poorly fit for this fight, but being the most recent unit we got, and one that I told you guys to summon on because we had no clue how good these units coming in were going to be. And I still think he's like the best dark unit. I mean, obviously, throwing Goblin Slayer on here would be a no-brainer. It'd be like a 6-turn win, and there'd be, no effort to it. I like to, on these where it's just kind of a gimme, most people probably have the units, and I've talked about these to absolute death, how to strategize, words are hard. You probably know all the strategies at this point. So what I like to do in this one is just challenge myself, like I have repeatedly said, probably. All right. Let's see what the double SA does. Now remember, also, essays going forward are going to hit a tiny bit harder because Ottarl does drop physical resistance to 60%. So that is going to be kind of nice. And magic resistance, but we really only care about the physical resistance. All right. What you got? What you got? You got a whole lot of murder. No, okay. That was really good. And remember, he's probably going to hit probably about that same, because it's about a 10% increase. He's probably going to hit about that same solo going forward. So that's really nice. Wasn't quite a mill, but it was a very good hit. So we're going to do Yosuga, Bone Crush. And if you're wondering why I'm using the AoE assist instead of the single target assist, it's because I feel like the AoEs are going to hit way harder with all the buffs and everything in place. The single targets, I could throw the single target Hestia assist on here, but I didn't have room for all of that, so I really feel like this is going to kind of be our closest tactic, and we're going to be SAing like constantly, as you can kind of tell. So here we go. I didn't check to see if he's debuffed. Doesn't look like he is. That's good news. Sloppy on me. I should have checked that. Boom. 730. I'll take that. 3/4 of a mil will still get it. Now, we have to beat this at 15 turns. And we're actually on track, it seems, to do that. So, good news. I'm going to go ahead and do Dancing Snow in this turn. Bone Crush. And Yosuga. Let's go. Let's go. Remember, Dancing Snow is going to remove the any debuffs that he would have. So, that's going to be super handy. Let's just double check. Go down here to the bottom. Nope. No debuffs. So, we're good to SA with him. And go back to Snow Silver, just to keep the MP up for Haruhime, because we're going to need that. Both Haruhimes, technically. All right. And I know this team is actually using a bunch of older units. Once again, I built the team that I thought was going to be the best fit for the situation. I noticed he just hit for 850 again. Nice. Very nice. How much else does he have left? Okay. Still a little over 3 million, so we're going to really have to chip away at that hard if we're going to get... looks like turn 13 is going to be the next essay. That's not good. So maybe the S-Clear is a little on the ambitious side. Alright, I do see we're debuffed. That's bad. I got to get rid of that before we can essay. I didn't think we were going to get an essay this turn, so... That's fine. We'll get an essay on turn 15. And that'll be handy. Alright. SA. Boom. Let's make sure we're not debuffed. Perfect. Here we go. Now, this is kind of down to the wire. I kind of don't think we're going to get the S clear. I just feel like Ottarl is right on the edge of that. Yeah, see. If he had hit for 850, then we might be in better shape. He's not quite hitting the way he needs to hit to make that happen. That's okay, though. You know, this is the way these things go. That's why it's a challenge. Dancing Snow to get rid of any debuffs that might be placed on him. We're really close. Really close. Ottarl, what you got, Mang? Okay, yeah, it's going to take 2 essays to kill him, so we're not quite in range, and I think that's truly unfortunate, because I think this is my last chance. So, the AoE Ottarl can't quite hack a solo Murderfest, unfortunately. Even if you had, like, max buffs. I might be able to do a little tiny bit more with the team, but I've got, like, the max assists, I've got max everything else. I could take away some of the SA gauge, but I feel like that is also going to end unfavorably, so... Yep. The next SA is going to kill him. That's fine. So it's a turn 17 finish. It was an ambitious project. I mean, he still killed it. We did way better than an AoE really has the right to do in this situation. There might be a little bit more we can do on this team, but I mean, If you just want to clear it and you MLB'd your Ottarl like I recommended when he dropped around, there you go. Here's the team to do it. Let's go look at that again. And once again, if I threw Goblin Slayer on there, Goblin Slayer would be my main unit, and he would murder this. It would be over in like 6 turns. It would be a joke, an absolute joke. So, might go back in here and revisit this and fart around with it a little bit. But, it was fun. It was fun while it lasted. Didn't quite get the finish I wanted, but that's the video. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments section. If you can think of a way to make this team actually just that much better and maybe eke out the win, let me know in the comments section, and maybe we'll retry before the end of the night. But this all ends tonight, so I'll come back with Wind Zone in a little bit. That one might be a little more fun because we have a bunch of new units. So I'll catch you guys on the next one.